Hey everyone, this video is about calculating the molar mass. First thing I'd like to point out is when you look on the periodic table and you have element symbols, sometimes, usually, you have the atomic number, which is the number of protons above, and you have the molar mass of the element beneath. So if what you're asked to do is figure out the molar mass of an element, you simply have to look for the number on there that is not the whole number. Every now and then you may get substances that have molar masses that round to 0.0 or 0.00. But take a look around, take a look at the elements around it on the periodic table. The molar mass is the number that is usually a decimal. And in this case, for hydrogen, it's 1.001. So what that means is, for the element hydrogen, its molar mass is 1.008 grams per 1 mole. If you were to write this in a conversion factor format, when plugging it into a table, when plugging it into one of our conversion tables, it would be 1.448 grams per 1 mole. Or, the conversion might require you to write it in the other direction flipped. 1 mole of hydrogen atoms has a mass of 1.008 grams. But let's look now for something a little more complicated. What if it's a compound? Well, I'll pick a really hard compound to do, and that way we'll over-prepare you. Well, maybe not over-prepare you, but we'll prepare you for the hardest. Let's say your compound is something like iron 2 phosphate. When we look at something like this, we have to add up all the individual elements to get the molar mass of this compound. So if we have a tally sheet over here to the right, that's 3 iron atoms, right? Because the subscript for the iron is 3. How many phosphoruses do we have? Well, phosphorus looks like there's a 1, but this 2 distributes to both the oxygen and the phosphorus. So if we're going to add up the masses of phosphorus, we have to have 2 phosphorus atoms. And then let's look at the oxygen. If there are 4 oxygens in phosphate, but outside the parentheses tell us there are 2 phosphates, that's a total of 8 oxygen atoms. So when we're going to figure out the molar mass, we need 3 iron atoms, 2 phosphorus atoms, and 8 oxygen atoms. The molar mass of iron is 55.85. And depending on the periodic table that you use, you might have slightly different numbers, or different numbers of decimal places. Phosphorus has a molar mass of 30.97, and oxygen has a molar mass of 16. So what we're going to end up doing is multiplying the iron's molar mass by 3, multiplying the phosphorus's molar mass by 2, and multiplying oxygen's molar mass by 8 to get the total. So you should put this in your calculator right now. 55.85 times 3 plus 30.97 times 2 plus 16 times 8 has a grand total of 357.49 grams per mole for the compound iron 3 phosphate. For different compounds, you have to calculate a different molar mass. In this case, if it's as simple as one type of atom, let's review. With the hydrogen, its molar mass is 1.008. But if we have a compound where we have more than one type of element, then we have to figure out the molar mass by adding up the masses of all the individual elements. And that is how you calculate molar mass.